Good afternoon from Glendale, Arizona. A wild card weekend in the National Football League comes to a close with a game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. As you're undoubtedly aware, this was to have been a home game for the NFC West champions. But Los Angeles has been forever altered by fires over the course of this past week. The scope of the damage impossible to comprehend. Entire neighborhoods erased in a blink. Homes of the stars of the city, yes, but also the working class men and women who were the backbone of not just Los Angeles, but our country, all gone. And with the battle to contain those fires ongoing, SoFi tonight is silent. But hopefully, this game provides a welcome distraction for a city that is wounded and will be hurting for a long while. This is a stadium that is their division rival, Arizona, but it is adorned in the colors of the Los Angeles Rams. This isn't where we thought we'd be, but we are pleased to be here in the hope that we have a couple of hours to set the table for a game that will be something of a distraction. With Ryan Clark, Jason Kelsey, Marcus Spears, I am Scott Van Pelt, and gentlemen, you talk often about compartmentalizing, right? We have something in your life that you're dealing with. Yeah. You try to put it on the shelf. And then you go out and you try to play the most important game of your season. But this Rams team has had folks within their organization that have lost everything. And I don't understand how you do it. I've never been asked to. I would ask Ryan just how one goes about trying to do that.
I think, one, it's very difficult to do successfully. And whereas football is an escape for so many of us, it's an opportunity to do one thing we truly love. There are things in life that you love more than football. These humans love their families more. They love their friends more. And they have the empathy and compassion for the people who live in the neighborhoods that they live in who have possibly lost it all. And you do your best to compartmentalize it and be focused on football when you're within your building, when you're on the practice field. But you still feel all of the things that come along with devastation and tragedy like they're experiencing in Los Angeles. I also think you draw from the triumph of the heroes who are risking their lives to save people who they may never even meet and have never even known, but they understand that part of humankind is loving the other people who walk this earth with you. So to all the people in Los Angeles who have lost loved ones or lost their belongings, my heart and my prayers go out to them, and to all the heroes who are risking their lives to save other people's belongings and their things, we say thank you. And for the Los Angeles Rams, I know they'll try to put those things aside and put on tonight for 3 hours to win a game that will mean a ton to the city that's suffering so much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody here is going to say it much better than that. I feel like everybody handles and processes grief differently. I always loved and considered it a blessing to be able to go out on the football field whenever there were distractions happening outside. Now, this is unique in the sense that this is an entire city. This is family, friends, neighbors. There's so many things happening back in LA right now that is affecting all of these players and players on both teams. And, it's hopefully going to be a galvanizing thing for the Rams. I think it certainly can be. I think that for 3 hours, they get to go out there and enjoy a game that they've played their whole lives and enjoy doing that together. And, I think it's one of the great kind of things about sport. You get to go out there and just play the sport, and, we can leave all that stuff aside for a second, even though we will be thinking about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Can you find that gear, Swag? Can you find that uber competitive and necessary gear in the midst of all that could be in your mind?
Scott, I was watching you the other night, and I think you said something poignant about allowing people to help you. And I think that's the most important thing.
My family lost its house in a fire. It was very different. We could lean on our neighbors because our neighbors didn't lose theirs as well. But the gist of what I was saying is that that you've got to allow yourself a bit of grace in this moment, because this is a marathon, and there are people, maybe they're not your neighbors physically, but your neighbors, this country.
Absolutely.
And I think we're seeing that. We'll have the call to action for the Red Cross, but you got to call on folks to help you, because there's no getting through this.
And I think that's where the strength lies, man. As much as we go through in this country and the things we deal with, I still have a firm belief that humanity is undefeated. And it's important for us to not segment all of the things that go on to thinking that good people are no longer around.
Yep, that's not
And I
true.
think that's what you see in these moments of adversity. You understand that there's a lot of people that share in the same ideals. There's a lot of people that share in the fact that I just want you to be okay. And I think that's what we're going to see unfold over the next months, years in this recovery. But I think specifically to this game, and we bring it up all the time when we're talking about the locker room. The locker room is a place of solace. It's a place to get grief out. It's a place to talk about things that are very uncomfortable. And usually, culturally, when you have teams that have this type of success, those are the type of things that have been going on for a while. We saw guys lose children this year during the football season. We know that people go through life-changing, life-altering things. And I think just similarly for what you think about this game and football and team, it's what you said the other night as allowing your brothers to help you deal with what's going on, but also knowing that other people are suffering around you and you be a catalyst for humanity as well and try to give what you can give. I think in this 3.5 hours, with everything that's transpired in LA and that's still going on, humanity will find some solace in watching these guys and finding and drawing inspiration and strength by their display of being able to play a game in the midst of what's going on, even in some of their personal life.
And I think the one thing we'll see tonight, Scott, I know you have to go, is gratitude.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? To be grateful, like Jason said, for having an opportunity to do something we did as children for free. And get a chance to go do that, not only for yourselves, but for all of the fans who support you and have supported you throughout the years.
You think of the notion of putting on for your city, it can mean a lot of things, but tonight it means the most. It means the most. We welcome in Adam Schefter now. And Adam, we're dealing with this, discussing what LA is dealing with, but to get from there to here, how did the NFL arrive at that place, and what have the Rams as a organization been dealing with in the past week?
Obviously, Scott, this has been such a trying week for the city of Los Angeles, and the Rams were a microcosm of that. They found out on Thursday afternoon that their home playoff game was going to be transported here to Arizona tonight. And within 24 hours, with the help of the Arizona Cardinals, they mobilized and got together planes to transport over 400 members of the Rams organization, including their pets, to get them to Arizona. While they were in Los Angeles, this team was no different than many of the people in that city themselves. Sean McVay, the head coach, had to evacuate. There were